Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of OK Boomer, the podcast. Please subscribe, comment, and share. Share. Tell a friend, tell a friend. You can see us every week right here on the Creators Outlet on YouTube and many other places that we share to. So, yeah. I'm Will.
And this is Thomas.
And we're back at the virtual spinner rack this week to check out DC Presents issue 3?
Three.
Trey. Yeah, they started this to go hand in hand in the 70s with Brave and the Bold, even though Brave and the Bold started way before that. But
Brave and the Bold was huge, dude. It was
first appearance of the Justice League.
Yeah, in 28, wasn't it?
27.
27. Okay, I couldn't remember what number it was.
Yeah, I'm like, so if you have that issue and you don't want it anymore, or you just want to give it to a worthy cause, I've got a really nice display to put it in front of. So I'm just saying.
No,
so
I do not have that one.
The Thomas picked this for two reasons. One, Adam Strange, and two, it's done by his favorite DC artist again.
Look, you can't ever get enough Garcia Lopez. I'm telling you, dude.
Look, I have to ask: does Garcia Lopez still have the restraining order on you?
No, I've got it framed, dude.
Oh,
it's on the wall.
I got it in, and it's framed up, and it's nice. It's like, look, I'm such a fan that I've got a restraining order.
Damn it. Well, I mean, you sounded so disappointed after I picked Daredevil 2 weeks ago. So, and you were like, well, I thought you were going to do some DC Comics Presents. And I was like, hey, I know one that has Adam Strange in it, so we'll read it. And then when I picked it up, I'm like, damn, it's got Garcia Lopez in it, too. It's even better.
It's a win-win. Yeah, because you're a little upset because they're doing a black label Adam Strange where you think they're gonna whack him.
Dude, I saw that this morning. I'm like, how the hell are they going to kill Adam Strange? That is the dumbest crap. I don't know. I'm behind on it. It's that's the one by, I think it's King, and I can't remember the artist.
Well, of course it's Tom King. Adam Strange is going to be solely depressed, and he's going to murder himself by leaving Ran and going back to Earth.
Well, that's the whole thing. He somehow in the book, he's accused of a murder. And he has to contact Batman to he calls Batman to try and save him, and all of this because people are trying to call him out and all this other crap. And Batman's like, hey, look, I'm too close to it. I can't be there from what I remember. So he calls Mr. Terrific, who comes in to do like the investigation to see if Adam Strange actually is a war criminal. And that's kind of where I left off. I've got them sitting over there to read. But I've been really behind and not reading a lot of new stuff lately. I did read like 20 issues of Batman over my vacation, so I'm up to date on it. But I've got a bunch to do, and I had a long box. And
you put a divider in the middle with an arrow pointing this way for new, that way for old.
For old, pretty much.
I'm like, I was prior to saying, goes, yeah, I've read every book I bought. I go, I actually haven't read every book I bought.
No,
I had probably 9 long boxes full of books, worth of books that were just stacked up on tables before I went into the coma.
Yeah.
Like I had an 8-foot table. I had a closet, like a whole closet there was a hole that led into my bedroom. And there was like a double door, like open closet with lights in it and everything. I put one of those big, like 8-foot folding tables in there, a bunch of short boxes underneath it, and all these stacks of books on top, and then a 9-foot table around the corner, going out towards the gable, with all books stacked up on it. I hadn't read a single one.
Yeah, and that's the thing. As I fussed at my brother the other day, he was like, I'm behind. He only reads a handful of titles. And I read I'm actually cutting it down, really. My pull list keeps getting smaller and smaller. I'm not buying miniseries and all that other stuff anymore. And
Nope.
I'm even cutting
There's
back
no
some
reason.
of the
Like
other stuff.
90% of the stuff that DC's coming out with are all limited series. Why would you want to bother buying individuals? And you get certain people like Pops and be like, "Whoa, I'm a collector." Yeah. Well, quit collecting shit that's not worth anything.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Look,
the whole thing
all these limited series, if it sparks your attention enough, be like, that looks cool. I like the art. How did they ruin this book? Oh, wait. Robin number 3 is now Strictly Dickly, and Batman doesn't eat the kitty. I'm fucking done.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
if there's a limited series that I think garners my attention, I'll be like, okay, and I'll just be like, let me know when the collected hardcover hits the shelf.
Yeah, or the trade, either one. I mean, and that's the thing I was.
I'd rather have the hardcover so I can put it on the shelf. The trades will just stop flopping around and get all nasty.
Yeah, I mean, you can put the hardcovers on the shelf, but the whole thing with that is if you buy 6 or 7 issues at $3, $4 a pop, and usually you can get the discount on the trade for $7, or like $7.99, $8.99, and then
if I want the trades, I'm just gonna send you a list and PayPal you the money and be like, okay, here's the list. Let me know when you can order them, and
just send them back to you.
Mm-hmm.
I actually, though, in books like this, because I've been trying to pick up more DC stuff over the last handful of years, because I've just bought so much Marvel over the years, and there's and I know it sounds terrible, there are very few DC characters I really, really like. Superman, Adam Strange being one of them. I have bought most of the DC Comics Present run, and dude, it didn't even go 100 issues, which is freaking sad.
Well, what it was, they started in the 70s, and then it kind of petered out, and they kind of ended it when it was going into like Crisis on Infinite Earths. They had like a bunch of crossovers with like Lady Quark. I remember Superboy Prime. Ooh.
That is an excellent issue, though.
Yeah, and a bunch of others. They were fun reads. I remember getting them when I was a kid because, DC Comics Presents and Braving the Bold were the two perfect one-off issue books all the time. It's like you like Superman or you like the guest star. It's probably gonna be a good like one-off story and give you that that happy feeling. You escaped into the book for about a half hour or so, and you really enjoyed it. And same thing, you like Batman. Well, you're gonna like Batman with guest stars because in the 70s there was no Robin. Dick Grayson had taken off for college, and what you got a lot of time for quite a while. What you got in the back of Detective was like a backup Robin story, Teen Titan Mod Squad style, because he was at college,
or Batgirl.
Or Batgirl, yeah. The Batgirl ones were really good. And then it transferred over, and for years it was like this 4 or 5 page backup with Green Lantern and his sidekick at the time, black superheroine Onyx, like a street level vigilante.
I don't remember that one. Okay.
But look. In the Detectives, they ran the for a while, like late 80s, early 90s. They ran, Green Lantern was a Green Lantern. I mean, Green Arrow was a backup, and Onyx
Green
was
Arrow and Black Canary.
Yeah, but it wasn't Green Arrow and Black Canary. It was just Green Arrow.
Yeah,
she was in. She like appeared in some of them, but mostly it was him, and it was only like 3 or 4 pages. And it was an anthology that was just running through. So if you like goes, well, I kind of like man, but I really like. It's like, okay, well, you buy that issue, and then you have to keep buying it because you only get like a few pages in the back of each one. And you're like, and for a while, I found myself flipping to the back of the book to read the backup first. The backup was usually better than the actual story. Like half the time, because they weren't doing like these big, you know. I got a love-hate relationship with Jeff Johns. He did some amazing storytelling in DC, but he made it so everything had to be this huge, like years-long epics of everything.
Yep.
And I'm like, no. That's an investment. Man, I've gone 50 years without being married. I'm not into commitment. Well, I am now, but not then.
Yeah, everything is it was so long and drawn out that you miss it. I mean, that's what's cool about like this issue here. I mean, what is it? It says it's 44 pages, but that's 44 pages with ads. This story is not 44 pages. And I think it's like 30. So, but in 30 pages, okay,
I mean, so
everything happens.
Figure like it says it's a 44-page book, which means it's probably 32 pages. Yeah. I think these are like 32 story pages for 50 cents.
Yep.
Nowadays, for $5, you get 16 story pages.
Yep.
It's a 24-page book. Yeah, with all the in-house ads and like some big money like movie ads or something. Other than that, it's the HBO Max ads. It's 16 pages or $5. Is there no wonder that I'm what I've been buying most of has been graphic novel format indie books, because the smallest book you're going to get is like 42 to 50 pages, and on average they're like $25. But they're small print runs because they're just whatever they sell. One of the more recent ones I picked up was Escape or Die.
Oh, okay. Which
of course is a horror book, but if you couldn't tell, now you can.
Dang it.
It's all black and white inside. It's great art, but it's like 54 pages. And that's the variant cover. Came with two covers. The interior covers art, or this cover by Preston Escobedo. And along with it came...
Oh, you got a sticker?
I got a sticker. I got a bookmark. I got a limited edition trading card. And I got this called the Dead Notes, which is like it's a
whatchamacallit, scenes or something.
Yeah, like an ash can. Like in the beginning, it's like all like character design stuff.
Yeah, character designs.
Character designs, from where they, where they were to where they became to be.
Was that a Kickstarter or something you backed?
Indiegogo, yeah.
Yeah. I looked up that one you sent me today. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Wait for more information to come out on it though.
Yeah, well, if you sign up on the link, it'll just give you the it'll just like send you like emails when it launches, so you can see more of it.
Yeah, I signed up on the link.
And if you scroll down, you can see, what's going on. There's like four like, comic book style stories. And then there's four like prose stories. Like they used to be like, Howard E. Conan, like little story snippets in the back, or they'd write like an actual prose, like 3 or 4 page story. So it'd be like an illustrated story. So there'd be like an illustrated illustration at the beginning to give you like an idea, and then you would like read like 3 or 4 pages of an actual book. And there's 4 of those in the back, and then there's a D&D short module in the back that's like, a one night play campaign. And there's stats for monsters and everything else in it. But in the back, there's this. Dante Lives. It's a journal of one of the characters from the bigger book that he kept, like if Rick or somebody was keeping a journal through like Walking Dead.
Oh, you get to read what they think.
Yeah, so everything they find out, they're reading. Like beware the commune and stuff like that. It's just really cool. So, but now back to our regularly scheduled program.
Yep. So DC Comics presents number 3, Superman and Adam Strange. Just absolutely, dude, I love it. The only problem I have with this book is we'll go ahead and say it now. Well, besides it ended, this book shows off. We'll get to it later when we can call it out. It shows off one of the reasons why they brought John Byrne in to clean up Superman, because he is ridiculously overpowered. Silver Age Superman was.
Well, Golden Age into the Silver Age, he was kind of underpowered. He didn't fly; he leapt. That's why the original George Reeves TV show, leaps over tall buildings in a single bound. Because a lot of times, it wasn't. He was kind of flying, but he was leaping and just floating around.
Yeah. Well, come the Silver Age and late Silver Age, early, whatever you want to say, early Bronze, he is way overpowered.
Yeah,
but
it's like, why read a Superman book? He can defeat anybody that comes up against him in one panel.
That's the problem with so many of the early Superman books that I've read in the Silver Age and stuff. A lot of them are all about his personal life and his love life and everything else, because literally, he could beat anybody up. It doesn't matter. And then when he does have a really good book, it just stands out. I mean, for God's sakes, when we did Action, was it 340 or whatever it is, first appearance of Space Parasite? That book was awesome. That book
was awesome. He also killed the parasite.
Yeah, it was accidental, but it happened. Yeah.
Murderer. I had no idea that like we're on like the 9th incantation of Parasite. I'm like, really? I thought it was just an old character. Yes. He goes, what happened? He goes, he died. But shh, because nobody's gonna remember this shit. Except for some old boomers on a podcast. Nobody's going to remember this shit, so we're just going to bring them back. Okay.
Again.
And again. And again. Yeah. It's funny because they've made Parasite action figures before. And I find it funny because it's like they sculpt him and they give him some muscles, but he's just a big muscular gloob of purple.
That's it.
And I'm like, that's it. I'm like, it's some naked purple guy. You shouldn't be selling that to kids. You shouldn't be selling that to me.
They don't even sculpt it very well. It just has to look a little bit like a face.
It does. Yeah, it's like, it's like, what do we make it like? He goes, well, remember the Clayface figure? He goes, yeah. Remember Clayface in the cartoon where his face started melting? He goes, yeah. Do it kind of like that, but purple.
But purple.
Oh, so we're just going to spray the Clayface mold purple. Okay.
But now they're talking about Clayface. Now, remember, what is it? There 3, 4 Clayfaces? There's a bunch of them.
3 that I know of.
Yeah, it's 3 or 4. I can't remember.
The original, which is the one they used in the Batman the Animated Series, the actor who was using the chemical that could, on his face, the chemical makeup that was poisoned that he didn't know about, and eventually the Goopity Goop just transformed his whole molecular makeup, and then there was I don't remember the origin of the second one, but I remember Clayface 2 because Clayface 2 was just like a big monster.
Yeah, he was a monster, which they kind of merged those two later in the cartoon, and then Clayface 3 is the one with the glass, with like the glass helmet.
That's the one that Batwoman murdered.
Really?
And the detective run about 2 years ago. Batman wasn't so much in it. It was all like Bat family stuff. So it was like Batman had disappeared to do something else. We all know it wasn't to eat the kitty. Dang it. But he wasn't around that much. Everybody else was protecting Gotham. You know, a Nightwing, a Nightwing, a Batwoman, a Red Hood, like 5 Robins. And
spoiler, all them.
You know, well, spoiler was a Robin, so for like a day and a half or something. And but whatever, something happened in one of the women, I think it was Batwoman, basically had a sniper rifle on him, and they were going through like this big plan of stuff that he was supposed to do for, really bad people they were taking out. And at the end, it's like hollow point right through the head, killed him.
All right, I'm gonna have to go back and look that one up now because I can't remember.
Okay, can we get on with this now?
Yeah.
Turn the page.
Turn the page. The thing that's funny is I did not realize this until I flipped it open. Is David Michelin wrote this one?
Yeah, I was surprised myself. I was like, whoa! And of course, Jose Luis Garcia Lopez, Jerry Serpe, Ben Oda, who was a major letterer through like this entire era, through the Bronze Era for DC. Like Ben Oda was probably on like 7 out of 10 books as a letterer, like every month.
Really?
Yeah. Julie Schwartz was the editor, and Jack C. Harris was the Adam Strange consultant.
That's kind of weird to me. I mean, I don't understand why they needed an Adam Strange consultant because Adam Strange is a really old character. And they may not have been just as familiar with him as they should have, and they needed somebody to like help fill in the
it might have been in Jack's contract that every time when they bought out Adam Strange from the smaller press.
No, Adam Strange was DC. Has always been DC.
It's always been DC.
Always. He was created by Gardner Fox and God, I can't remember who else. Gardner Fox and someone else. Yeah, because he showed up in Showcase Presents, like number 17 or something.
I was thinking he was like, an old... He's got the feel of an old Charlton character. Like the old, Captain Adam Blue Beetle, The Question, stuff like that.
Well, and the reason probably is because he's a Buck Rogers ripoff.
Yeah. Well, obviously. The original Buck Rogers, not Buck Rogers in the 25th century.
Yes, the original Buck Rogers.
Which is an awesome show. Even if you just watched it to see Aaron Gray in spandex every week.
It was an awesome show.
I could have done without Gil Kane in spandex, though, however. But anyhow, I like the first page of all these books of DC Presents and Brave and the Bold, because they were, the same format. You open up the front page and it's split in two in some kind of action pose, and they give you the write up and the lead into the story on Superman's half and on Adam Strange's half, and they would do the same for whatever characters were involved. So you get the background of who everybody is. That way, if you had never read a story with so and so, you actually have an idea of who the hell it is when the story starts. Yeah. So you might not know about the character, but it gives you enough that you can put it together. Well, he looks cool. He's got a flying jetpack and a laser gun.
Yep.
And in the
And I
'70s,
like
his shark fin.
Yep.
Yeah, it comes down to the wind shear, I'm sure. But in the '70s, if a kid looked at this in the '70s, after '70s, what year did this come out?
77, I think it was. 78, it says.
78.
Yep.
It's like, cool. He's a hero, but he's like Boba Fett.
Boba Fett.
Boba Fett. Boba Fett. Where? Boba Fett. Where? Huh? Anyhow, so we get the lead in. Superman has been out in space. This is when he was overpowered, so apparently he didn't need to breathe. They fixed that after John Byrne, where he would wear some funky kind of oxygen regeneration mask.
Yep. Yeah, he had a little oxygen tank he carried with him.
Yeah, a very small oxygen tank. It just replenished itself automatically.
Yeah.
But
actually, in some of the Action Comics, he has to stop on planets and actually refill it. That's when Perez was drawing it, when he was off in World and stuff, and he had the big super beard.
Yeah, I got that like big fat trade of the whole War World thing when he was off planet with the Mongol and everything, and that was a great story. It took me I'm not sure if I ever finished reading it because I got piled up with more books. But I know I
read it when it came out. It was awesome.
I got it like I had stopped collecting it, but I looked at that and I go, okay, this looks cool. What's this about? And they tell me, and they're like, okay, I'll take it.
Yeah, the whole thing. Was it Action Comics Annual 2? I think it is the one where he's on freaking World War, and he's got like a
War World
spear or something. Yeah, War World, and he's got his cape is ripped around him, and he's his suit's all jacked up. He's just wearing the pants and the boots, and he's got his cape around him, and it's stuck in his belt. But anyway,
because
he's fighting.
Something for the ladies.
So Superman is returning to Earth, and from an exhausting mission in space, and he is ready to get home. And in case you need to know, finally we discover, this is for the Mark Waid super hard Superman challenge. I don't know if you've ever seen that. I'll have to send you the link to the quiz where he asks what is Superman's social security number, and he actually has a printed social security number. And if you don't know it, then you're not a true Superman fan, and don't ask me because I can't remember it. But he lives at 344 Clinton Street.
I wouldn't know any of that shit.
Really?
Nor should you. If you know too much about a character, it probably means you sleep in separate beds.
Damn it. Yeah, I'll send it to you. So so Superman is heading to his house. He's wanting to take a nap, watch TV, eat a hamburger or something. And then shows Adam Strange is fighting this giant like monster or something, and he's shooting it in Metropolis. So we don't know what's kind of going on, and then we turn the page and more awesome art. So here's Superman heading back, and he's like, I love how he says, I'm really tired, and I know the Justice League are having a meeting. Maybe they'll understand if I just make a quick appearance and then I'm gonna head back. But then as he gets closer to the planet, he realizes the JLA satellite isn't in orbit anymore.
and starts wondering what's going on, and then recognizes the topography of the planet, and it's not his.
Yeah. I've flown to where Earth is, and this isn't Earth. This is Ranagar. He's like, oh Jesus, or Ran, whatever you want to call it. So he lands.
Well, Ran's the planet, but Ranagar is the capital city there. Yeah,
is the capital city. Yeah. So he lands up, and he's like, well, how the hell is Ran here? And he's there for just a minute.
That page that we just left,
yeah,
just like the shocked look on Kal-El's face, it's like, well, Superman, here's your WTF moment of the day.
yeah. Somebody just starts shooting at him, and he's like, yeah. Oh, look, it's another off-worlder. And they start shooting damn lasers at him. He turns around, and it's these freaking guards. They're heading at him, and Superman's like, leave me alone. And they're, you're going to pay the price for, coming here, Earthling. And he just overwhelms them, dude. It's not even like easy. I mean, where can he, so he knocks this guy out of there, and then he says, a blast of my super suction should do the trick. So it's like he inhales the damn air and pulls these people to the ground.
Yeah, because they're on hover bikes.
Yeah. So he
that right there just goes to show you how Superman sucks.
Damn it. Go to hell. So he knocks them to the ground, and he's like, I'll immobilize them with the help of the nearby lake. He's fast enough that he flies around the lake and causes it to flood. Not only does it cause it to flood, it becomes mud. He puts so much water up there, and then he uses his heat vision to dry it out so they're stuck in the dry earth. These poor people. And he just flies off afterwards. He's like, I'll go and see what's going on.
To quote Wes Craven's Serpent in the Rainbow, don't bury me. I'm not dead yet.
Exactly. Damn it. That's a good movie. So he's going to go fly off and find out what the hell's going on. And Sardath and Alana start hollering at him, who longtime Adam Strange people know that Alana is Sardath's, or Alana is Adam Strange's wife, and Sardath is her father.
Mm-hmm.
He's the head scientist on Ran. So they get to talking, and he's like, well, head back to come on back to my lab, and I'll tell you what's going on. So they head back to the lab, and then at the lab, we discover that Adam Strange, who, has, at this point, he's absorbed enough of the Zeta beams that he kind of can stay there, but he can use the Zeta beam technology to transfer anywhere over the planet. And in using that, they're doing experiments on it. And when they do the experiment, he's going to try and transfer just across the room. But when he disappears, he never comes back.
Oh,
yeah.
Look over. Oh no, it's not.
Damn it. Do you remember? This is one of the reasons why I love Garcia Lopez so much. When I was little, talking early 80s, I mean like 82, 84, something like that. Do you remember the DC Comics role-playing game?
Yes. I used to have it, and I remember the very first lead miniatures I ever bought was the entire Wolfman Perez Teen Titans lineup. And I was so angry because I'm like, they don't come painted? No, you got to paint them yourself.
Yep. And
man, I discovered my painting miniatures turn out much like an abortion. So
damn it.
I'm like, Jesus.
Well, they did two of them. They had the DC Heroes role playing game, and they had the Marvel role playing game.
Yes,
and
they were both very much flawed. In the Marvel role playing game, with the right crit 20, you could play as Aunt May and move the Earth out of its orbit.
Yeah. In the Marvel game, I played the Hulk one time, and I did a crit 20 like against Galactus or something. And because of the way it was written, I hit Galactus on like the ankle and killed him. And I'm like, really?
Wow, you killed Galactus in a lame way before Donny Cates.
I'm telling you, it's like, and I just remember, even back then, I was like, this is stupid. I mean, there's no way. I mean, I love the Hulk, but there's no way he hit Galactus on the damn ankle and kill him. So, But Lopez did all of the art for the DC Comics role playing game,
Yeah.
and like this is one of the scenes in the role playing game book. I always remember because Superman's leaned back and he's all the way he has his legs and stuff crossed is just one of them things that's etched into my mind.
Wow.
So
It's
while
the
they're
same.
talking,
It's the same pose. Yeah. So.
yeah, exactly. So while they're sitting there talking, and all of a sudden Alana gets like faint. She's like, "Oh, I don't feel well," and you see this like smoke and stuff coming up behind it. And Superman heads out, and he's like, as Alana goes to faint, and Zardoz is like, help us, there's something here. What is this? It's a mist that absorbs the moisture from anything it touches, and the people are ran are going to die. So Superman heads out, and he sees that damn, yeah, there's this mist is going all over the freaking city. So he's got to figure out something. Apparently, the three sons of Ryan keep the planet hot enough that this moisture doesn't develop. But now that the planet has moved and it's in our solar system, there's only one sun, so there's nothing to keep it in check. So Superman has to figure something out. And he flies around and he's trying to use his heat vision. He realizes it's not strong enough, so he says, Adam Strange always seems to find ways to succeed by using his brains, so I'm going to have to do the same. So he starts ripping off the top of buildings and heads out in outer space, where he uses the three buildings to reflect the light back down and puts makes the steam go away. And then he goes and checks on Zardoz and Alana. See, this is just I don't know if modern Superman would do anything like this.
No.
No, and it is kind of silly, but the thing is it is a little silly, but it's Superman. He does what other people can't do.
Mm-hmm.
So Superman's there. He's we got to go figure out what the hell's going on, and Superman leaves. And he heads out, and then he hears this scientist. What was his name? I can't remember. He follows the Zeta chair. His name is Kazakor, I think that's how you're going to say it. Who we find out is a old villain of Adam Strange, and he wants to take his revenge. So he's the one that has actually manipulated the Zeta beams when Adam Strange was transferring everywhere, and instead he turned it to move the Earth and ran, and they changed location. Well, Superman rushes in to stop him, and of course he gets caught in a trap. And there's this guy's like looked into the Justice League files, and he's got a red sun up there, so he starts zapping Superman's powers. And he then leaves. He's like, well, the Earth will be destroyed. And then that's when you talked about this last week when we read that long Justice Legion of Superheroes story. Next, chapter 2. This is our commercial break.
Oh, cool.
And then what?
No, what you were talking about.
With the commercial break? Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we go back and so Adam Strange, Superman for a day. And I could not remember this when I read this earlier today. I do not remember why Adam Strange can't return to Earth.
It says so in the book, but
yeah, well, it says that he'll die if he returns to Earth, but I can't. Then he says, I'm not sure why, and then he says it's not so much the Earth as it's the space around the Earth. It's the galaxy, because he's on Earth here, but because Earth has been transported to Alpha Centauri, and the people don't pay enough of damn attention because the sky's green now. He's like, they're just used to the pollution. Something's got to be done with the Alpha Centauri space. It's allowing him to actually go to Earth itself. So it's the Sol system. So I need to go back and hunt that down and figure it out because I don't remember that. But
I think basically because he had been on Rand so long, his physiology changed a little bit.
That may be it.
And going back to, actually, because for years he used the Zeta beam to travel back and forth, kind of like John Carter, jumping back and forth between the planets, and he'd done it like so many times that that happened, and it was like I guess he had to make a choice to either stay on Earth permanently or to stay on Rand permanently. So that's what happened.
Yeah, and it may be. I actually was reading / watching a little video on the character earlier, because I've read a lot of the stories, but dude, they said he had 600. The little video I was watching said there were over 600 appearances of Adam Strange.
Wow!
Like, really, 600? And he's never had his own title for more than like a year. It's all guest appearances and everything else. Of course, now he was in Mystery in Space for like 5 years or something. He was a continuing feature in that book. But yeah, so Adam Strange is, he's looking around like, what in the hell's going on? And, he gets his, honked at by this guy in the taxi, and he eventually flies off. And that's when he sees, this from our first book, there's this giant strain of like bacteria that's growing out of control. So Adam Strange flies up, and then don't you love these people? Oh, look, it's a bird. It's a plane. It's, who the heck is it? I don't know. And he's not doing any good with his ray gun.
Right?
Yeah. So he talks to, he comes down and talks to the scientists at Star Labs, and they're like, hey, this is a top secret, bacteria that we're trying to grow to help. It's algae that we want it to make a better food supply to feed the people in the future. And all of a sudden, its growth is rapidly accelerated. And Adam Strange says, hey, I know why. Because, the algae, grows because of chloroform, and we've got 3 suns, so they've supercharged its metabolism, and it's growing so fast. So he flies over and he finds a swimming pool, one of them rooftop swimming pools. It's not far away, and he says, hey, I can melt all this water, and maybe it'll cover up the sky enough that we can get this algae under control, which he does. He flies over and chases everybody out of the swimming pool, and he uses his ray gun to melt or boil off the swimming pool and makes it all turn into steam. And of course, then he lands back on Earth, and everybody's like, oh, can I get your autograph? Thanks. Dude, the art is incredible in this book. And then, hello, hottie. There's Lois.
Lois was hot before she became, all super brain. They basically turned her into a human Brainiac 5 with boobs.
I don't know, dude.
Just to have boobs.
Yeah, I mean, and Adam Strange is there. All these people. And then here's Lois. Hey, I'm Lois Lane. Sorry to interrupt, but I'd like to get some answers. And he just swoops her up. He's like, your legend precedes you, and flies off with her. I love how he looks so smug on this bottom panel. He's like, he says, it seems just like, and he actually says, fellow Terrans, they all think that the galaxy and everything's changed. It's not the Earth, nothing ever, it's not the Earth that ever changes. It's everything around the Earth. He's like, nope. He's already figured out what the hell's going on.
Yeah. He's like, somehow Ren and Earth have changed places in the galaxy, and it's not good for anyone.
No. And of course they're listening to the TV is on, and it's
The TV's on, and it looks like a scene out of National Geographic from 1972.
With the damn monsters and stuff attacking the people in the villages. Yeah, it's WGBS is the channel station, and that's where Clark works at this time, because he no longer works at the Daily Planet.
They realize, like, even in the 70s, like, nobody's reading newspapers anymore. They're just watching the news. Clark and Lois have to become news reporters on TV.
Yep. Well, no, she still works at the Daily Planet. Clark left the Daily Planet and he went and took the job at the newspaper, or not newspaper, at the TV station. But she still works at the planet this time. So Adam Strange sees that, and he's like, "Hey, I got an idea that I maybe fix it, and we'll save the planet." So he hops on the damn windowsill and flies out, and of course she gets mad, and she's like, "I know another superhero that leaves like that all the time." And he realizes that the Zeta beam technology has to be kept cold, and watching the news report, they were talking about ice showing up in places it shouldn't. So he actually flies there. And when he gets there, he gets attacked by this robot, which he realizes is protecting something. Of course, there he is. He gets attacked. And we discover there's our evil scientist, Cascor, who's going to explain to him what's going on. His whole point is, now that he has managed to swap the Earth and Ran, he's made another machine that's amplifying the Zeta technology on Earth, so that when the actual Zeta energy wears off from Ran and it goes to return, it'll actually hit the same place that Earth is, and both planets will be destroyed and everybody will die. Because he's just pissed off. He's evil, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Got out of water. And then now here's our last section. This is chapter 3.
Well, before we go into chapter 3, this would be a good time for our actual commercial break to take a look at the Mavericks Volume 1 trailer.
All right. I can get some water.
War is a topic of vital importance, a subject of inquiry that cannot be ignored. It is a matter of life and death. It can be a road to safety or to ruin.
In an alternate version of our world, brought to the brink of total collapse, rival nations fight for global domination, and elite pilots in futuristic combat suits wage war on the battlefield of tomorrow. Now, 6 brave soldiers on a seemingly routine rescue mission will encounter more than they bargained for and uncover a dangerous secret that could change their world if they live long enough to see it. Mavericks Origins Volume 1.
Now on Indiegogo.
In demand. Mavericks wrapped up their full 60-day campaign on Indiegogo at over 25K and 305 backers and counting. Cool. Because once you fund on Indiegogo, you can leave your project in demand, like as an open storefront forever if you want. So you can buy the Indiegogo version of Mavericks, or you can head over to Kickstarter. There's only a couple of days left. If it hasn't wrapped up, hopefully not yet. I think there's a couple of days left on the Mavericks Origins Volume 1 on Kickstarter. And there is a special tier there where you can get an exclusive Mavericks cosplay calendar starring the luscious Miss Autumn Ivy cosplayer, and definitely check that out. Hey, 24 guys, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you, sir. So go check that out. And now we're back from our commercial break and on to Chapter 3 of DC Comics Presents number 3 with Superman and Adam Strange.
Yep. So at this point, like I said, so Adam Strange is captured, and Superman all of a sudden comes flying in and frees Adam Strange by tearing up this damn robot. And of course, Kataskar, the scientist, is like, how? And then now Superman goes through the explanation of he used his cape. He stretched it out to actually block the red sun rays, so he got strong enough to actually break out. And then when he broke out, he broke this machine. And then when he knew that, he flew back to Earth, which is 4.1 quarter. They actually say it 4.25 light years away, or yeah, I think it's 4.25 light years away. I think it's farther than that, but that's what he says in the comic. So he takes off, and they start fighting all these machines, and Superman has to defeat them as Adam Strange realizes that they have to somehow stop the Zeta beam amplifier from making sure that the Earth is not going to move. But they're too late because the amplifier has already done it enough, even though Superman uses his super breath to blow everything up into outer space. And Kataskor's like, hey, I'm going to leave you dudes here to die. I'm going to leave with my Zeta gun, which he turns on himself. And here at the bottom, look how shocked he is as it just goes click, 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 because Superman melted all the gun circuits when he come flying in. So, yeah, he gets to die with everybody.
Yay!
Yeah, exactly. This gotta suck. So, that's a cool scene at the top. Adam Strange just had enough of this dude's ass. It knocks him out. So then he asks, how did he get here so fast, Superman? Yeah. Well, since traveling 4.25 light years would have taken quite a while, even at super speed, I utilized a space warp.
Well, how else would he get here?
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, I'm like, how does Superman going to fly fast enough to, unless he, we're talking, he knows where there's a stable space warp. He creates his own space warp. And Adam Strange is like, well, that's what I figured. That might be the key. So we're going to use a space warp. And he explains, he says, so when the Zeta energy wears off, Rand will follow the direct line of course back to Alpha Centauri. Says, but since the space warp is essentially bend space, that would bring the planets into such relative proximity. By using your super strength, Earth could be pushed a short distance back into its orbit while Rand takes the long way around. And Superman's like, hey, yeah, sounds good, dude. But, moving the Earth, that would be disastrous, we don't do it right. So, they have to build this spaceship real quick that's going to create the space warp. So Superman does that, helps him do it. At super duper speed, he builds this damn thing and then launches it into outer space for Rand and Earth's sake. So there's Adam Strange as he's heading back with his, he's waiting on his the Zeta radiation to wear off and transport him back. And he's bringing the spaceship along with him. And he's got it all programmed so that it'll do it all at the same time. Of course, he's got to make sure that he hits all the buttons right so that it'll create the space warp, and Superman will know what to do. So when he does it, don't you love how Superman now, he's like, see, he's holding the mountain. As Superman, and this is another thing, he's sweating in outer space. He manages to push the Earth just enough that when Rand and the Earth change places, they don't hit. This is what I was talking about earlier. I mean, dude, they would never try this with modern Superman. It
wouldn't fly. The mountain range doesn't stick up out of Earth's orbit for him to grab a hold of to push.
Maybe it's freaking Mount Everest. I don't know. But yeah.
Maybe it's Mount Everest. Maybe it's a cuckoo clock. Who knows? For him to actually push the Earth, he would actually have to be planet side, pushing one of the continents, which could possibly just make it so California falls into the ocean, because that would be cool.
Damn it.
That's the only way they're going to pick up all that poop from San Francisco.
What is it? Isn't there another episode or another issue where Superman actually has like giant chains on him and he has to pull the Earth?
Oh yeah, but it's happened like many times.
Your camera just went off, dude.
Yeah, I know. I turned it off because I'm doing something I don't want people to see.
Oh, good God, Jesus! That's
not that.
TMI.
I'm using. I forgot to use my prescription nasal spray today, so I'm doing it now.
Oh, okay.
You know,
So,
I'm not applying a high colonic or anything. Relax.
damn it. So he actually saves the Earth by pushing it out of the way. And then now we get our 2 epilogues. So there it is. Good evening, Clark Kent. Channel 8 news reporter, and he tells no one knows what mysterious superhero it was that saved the day earlier. Thank you, Earth, for Superman, and we all appreciate it. And then back on Rand, hours later, Adam Strange is telling Alana how it was good to be back on Earth, and he was champion for a day, and she's like, oh, but you miss home. And then he, lays a lip lock on her, and he's like, I am home. As the suns go down. But it's a good read. It really is.
It's a good read. It's like an older books, and they were made better. They were priced better. There were lots of one-off stories. Now everybody's like, "Whoa, isn't it going to be like a?" No, it's not. It's a one-off story, dude. They're all one-off stories. It's a single issue. That's why this, and especially Brave and the Bold, were so popular, because you could pick up a random issue that you liked the guest star, or you thought the cover was cool, and you could read that book, and you didn't have to collect it. You didn't have to buy any more. People like me would buy lots of them, but they were fun reads. They usually had really, really decent art, and towards the end of the run, the art was like, who do we have that's new that doesn't get paid? Okay, yeah. Put them on DC Comics Presents for this issue.
Well, now I read the first. I was looking, actually went back and looked at some, like the first, almost I think it's like 9 issues of DC Comics Presents are all Garcia Lopez.
Yeah.
And then you get Rich Buckler is on a handful of them. Don't forget Jack Kirby actually does a couple issues of them.
I didn't even know that.
Back to Marvel. Yes, dude. And actually, I think it's 95. DC Comics Presents 95. Let me look it up, because it's one with Superman and the Legion of
Superheroes.
I think it's the Legion of Superheroes.
Oh, then I might actually have that one and not know it, or I probably had it, because when I had all the Brave and the Bolds and DC Comics Presents, I had sold my whole collection. So
really,
yeah. So I don't have any of those anymore.
Dang it. Yeah, I'm trying to remember which issue it was now, but yeah, it's one of them that's it's got the Legion of Superheroes, and it's like I said, it's Jack Kirby art. It's pretty cool. I may have to hunt it down for you. First one that looks like the first time they show up is in issue 13, and that's got art by Dick Dillon, who is another awesome artist who passed away too soon.
Okay, I just looked it up. Images of DC Comics Presents by Jack Kirby.
Did you? What issue is it? I can't remember.
I'm looking at them now. I'm waiting for it to come up. Well, one of them is issue 84, and you can tell just by the cover, but Issue 84 is Superman and the Challenges of the Unknown.
Okay, maybe it's Challengers of the Unknown. I'm thinking, not
Yeah.
Legion of Superheroes.
Yeah, that's. I was like, Legion of Superheroes. Wow. But if you look that one up and it comes up and you see like the cover and like some interior art pages, you can pretty much almost read the entire thing. Did you do this one too? I can't tell. Oh, I don't know. I hate big.
But talking about the one-offs, the thing that's cool is, so if you read this and you wanted to know more about it, I noticed this earlier because I didn't read this. I didn't know about this storyline. I'm trying to get back here. It's when Superman first lands on Rann. Yeah, he said right here. So before he sucks these guys down, he's like, I've heard the planet was at war again, but I never thought I'd be caught in the middle of it. As readers of Showcase 101 through 103 know. So
that is the most epic arc of Showcase with Hawkman, Hawkman, Hawkgirl, and Adam Strange.
Yep.
And 101 was one of those ad pieces that appeared in a shit ton of DC Comics at the time. And these were all books that I wanted because I thought they just looked, the image looked so cool. They are expensive as hell. That 3-issue arc is expensive as hell.
Yeah. I saw some online that weren't terribly expensive. Hold on, let me.
The average price for them in like really good condition is about $100. I looked up Kirby on DC.
Yeah.
And he's got, inker creds, writer creds, artist, cover colorist, and cover colorist creds. Of course, Challenges of the Unknown by Jack Kirby, The Demon, which we know, Green Arrow, A Celebration of 75 Years by Graphic Novel. No, that's just stuff that's advertised. Never mind. So, because we all want Jack pencils. So Jack did a DC Universe Christmas, All-Star Comics Archives Volume 3 is Kirby, Challenges of the Unknown, Archives Volume 2, Countdown Special OMAC #1, DC Comics presents Jack Kirby Omnibus Sampler #1, which is just a kind of like a throwaway thing. For a couple of bucks, and it just got like sample artwork from a whole bunch of DC Comics presents that he did. Of course, Jack Kirby's Fourth World is all Jack Kirby. New Gods, Jimmy Olsen Adventures by Jack Kirby, Commandy, Last Boy on Earth. He did Shazam. Showcase presents Challenges of the Unknown Volume 1. He did House of Mystery.
Really?
He did Superman, not all of them, but Showcase presents the House of Mystery Volume 2, and that's Jack Kirby stuff. Pencil credits. Superman in the 80s he did. Superman Coming of Atlas he did. The Boy Commandos by Joe Simon and Jack Kirby.
Yep.
Newsboy Legion by Joe and Jack. Absolute DC, The New Frontier. All-Star Comics Archives Volume 5 is Jack. Countdown Special Jimmy Olsen 80-page giant #1 is Jack. Countdown Special The New Gods is him. Forever People, OMAC, Jimmy Olsen Adventures Volume 2, Cobra Resurrection, Shazam Archives 4. Showcase presents Green Arrow Volume 1. Showcase presents these Showcase presents are the black and white
the
reprints 500-page books.
Yep.
And I've got some of these. Like I got a bunch of them. And apparently they're going up in value because a lot of collectors and especially artists and creators want to see the original line work. And when they redo them and they get, they cover up and re-edit like a lot of stuff out. So
really,
Yep.
I've only got a handful of them.
I've only got it's on the other side of the table. I've got a handful of them too. I've got a handful of the Marvel versions, which are like, the Marvel Essentials.
Yeah, Essentials, I think is what it's called.
Yeah, and I've got a bunch of the DC showcases. Like I've got like House of Mystery and the what was the war one, the ghost tank.
Haunted Tank.
The Haunted Tank, yeah. I got that.
Yep.
House of Mystery, Batman, Batgirl, Robin. I got a couple of Aquamans because there's no way I can afford to buy the early ones. And I'm like, it was a good, cheap way to get them. People are like, oh, these suck. And now some of them are going for like, they came out at $20 and then they were blowing them out off the shelves for like, $10 or $15 to get rid of them. And then, you go online and some of them, not all of them, but some of them are, especially, the ones that Jack did and some of the other, like, classic, like, kings of the four color
like
world
or something.
Yeah. Are like, pulling in a lot of money because, you get the original line work and you get, it's black and white. It's like, you know what? There's something to say. Because sometimes you get a colorist afterwards that will, muck up all like the intricate detail that you did and color, covering it up with color. But more House of Mystery 3, Superman in the 70s, Atlas, I already said. A lot of these are just redoing. The Sandman by Joe Simon and Jack Kirby. That is not Neil Adams Sandman.
Golden Age Sandman.
Yeah, that's the Golden Age. Challenges. I don't even know what this countdown thing is, but it's Countdown Special Command.
I think the countdowns that's a new book. I think he just had maybe some pinups or something in it.
Yeah, some reprints or something.
Yeah.
He's in Crisis on Infinite Earths, the Absolute Edition, which is probably pinups at the end or something. But
because Perez did all that.
Yeah. Pulp Fiction Library, Mystery in Space, Greatest Shazam Stories Ever Told, House of Mystery.
I didn't know he did Shazam.
Yeah. They wanted like that classic like look on him, I guess, for like the older stuff, the way he was for Fawcett.
I found your cover for 101.
Oh, nice. The Witching Hour too. He did.
Really?
He also did. He's also got credits in Superman Cover to Cover, The Losers, and Batman Chronicles Volume 6. Yeah, that cover right there. Good Lord.
And it's that one's Kubrick.
Yeah, I think I think Kubrick did like all three of these.
I don't know. He may have. I know he created Hawkman, didn't he?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Oh, I have the Hawkman showcase too.
Do you?
But the Hawkman was cool. The problem is all he ever fought was the Shadow Thief for like 30 years. So it's like the Shadow Thief is his Joker. But I mean, this is the way I want to see Hawkman. Like I love Tim Truman's Hawk World.
Yeah.
I thought that was epic. In fact, I just recently found like the 3-issue set, but man, this is one that I have wanted since I was a kid. So hopefully I'd even just buy it like in like a cheap trade, like those 3 issues, just so I could read it. I've never read it, so
it may be like that. I bought a while back. I was at a con, not a con, at a comic book shop, and I saw. Remember we did Fantastic Four, what 48, 49, and 50.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you remember how the first part of 48 and the last part of 50 were 2 different stories?
Yeah.
I bought a Silver Surfer, like, the Silver Surfer Coming of Galactus, I think is what it was called. And it was a little prestige, 90 pages or something. It wasn't big. Silver Surfer, but it did not print. It printed 48, 49, and 50. But the beginning of 48 and the end of 50, it did not print. There was no Wingfoot in it. There was no Inhumans. It was just the Silver Surfer and Galactus story. It was kind of cool. And I picked it up. It was like in a $1 box or something. I was like, hell, I'll read this again.
For a buck? I'll buy that for $1.
Exactly. But, yeah, it's a great little story.
So I found another epic pinup from another famous artist. I think you might recognize. Little Mark Silvestri action.
Yeah, I love Silvestri.
And you can tell it's Silvestri because it's a pinup to do with Silvestri's run on X-Men, where he turned around and goes, you know what? I'm gonna give Logan one of those country western singer hats that all the big artists are wearing, and then all the girls started wearing them, and I tried one on. I go, man, I look fucking stupid.
Looks stupid. Silvestri and was it Palmati was the other one that was so good at that time?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely incredible.
But which Palmati?
I can't remember his first name. Jim was it?
Gotta be Jim. I actually know Jim's brother.
Do you?
Yeah. I follow him. He's got a YouTube channel. His work is amazing. Although he didn't like it when I said, I go, oh, you're not the cool Palmati. Fuck you, Creators Outlet. I'm like, okay.
Oh, damn it. I picked up somewhere. I bought it. It may have been online. It was like stupid cheap. It was a couple bucks or something. You remember? I think it was Palmati did. They did a series for Dark Horse called X.
Oh yeah. I got his first appearance.
Did you? Okay, yeah. So I picked
Dark Horse did like they were doing like a week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4 thing, and it was X was week 1. They did the Pam Anderson Bob Wire, but it was Bob Wire before the Pam Anderson movie, so it looked like the actual comic book character opposed to whatever. And I don't.
Anderson.
Yeah, and then there was like another character called Vortex, which looked like really badass. It was a cool looking character that disappeared like that. And then there was like one other one which I don't remember, but there was. So I've got like his first appearance, and I've got like a couple of the other ones. And kind of funny story. The new Teen Titans Academy.
Looks like it.
Oh, and they call him that too. Imagine that. It's like, well, you haven't used that character in so long. It's free reign, so we're taking it. Well,
the thing that's funny is I picked that up for next to nothing, and I got it, and it was autographed, and it was a couple bucks because nobody gave a crap. One of those stupid books that bought autographed years and years ago, and nobody gives a crap because it's some character nobody knows about. It's worth more than that for the $1.
Yeah, you remember when Marvel started putting out? They put out like a handful of pre-bagged pre-bagged books with like these little cardboard inserts, and they were more money than they were autographs. So I've come across it, and I was buying the X-Men Unlimited series for a while, and then I realized, how much the X-Men Unlimited series sucked. It started off good, but I've got the first issue autographed by I don't even think it's Will Spataccio is the artist on it, but I think it was Will Spataccio's inker signed the book.
Really?
I'm like, people will go, X-Men book signed, boom. But I've got like that one, and I've got like one of the actual X-Men books. I think it was. I think it was 25. The Fatal Attraction when Wolverine got his adamantium pulled out by Magneto.
Out from him. See, and that's what's so funny is in honestly, we'll just go ahead and admit it. In the 90s, most of everything that come out in the 90s was trash. I mean, dude, there's a lot of stuff that come out in the 90s that was terrible, or late 90s primarily. Let's say 95 on. It was
some of it was just okay, and some of it was like, some of it was really good. Well, that's where you got like Jim Lee on the X-Men.
Yeah.
Where Jim Lee, where it was the best version of Jim Lee.
Yeah.
I'll say that because now he's just a corporate shill, and I'll say that. Did I show you the slab I got in?
No. Uh-oh.
Let me embiggen myself. Archer and Armstrong 0 first appearance. It's only an 8.5. It's still an 8.5. This book is still like expensive.
Yeah.
It's the first appearance of Archer and Armstrong, and it is by
Barry Windsor Smith.
Yep.
He did the interior art as well.
I'm not cracking open the slab to find out.
Well, I figured you would know. It doesn't say on the top.
It might have been Barry because he was doing. Yeah, it was. He did interiors. I'll take my glasses off so I can read the notes. First appearance, Archer and Armstrong. Origin of Archer. July on cover. I don't know why. Cover and art by Barry Windsor Smith.
Yeah, I was looking. Two were created by writer and artist Barry Windsor Smith and introduced in their own title in '92.
Mm-hmm. But you picked that, so I'm gonna do you a favor, and I'm gonna pick something with your favorite 4 characters in it.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
Shogun Warriors and the Fantastic Four.
We're gonna read the Shogun Warriors number. It doesn't show up on that screen. Number 19. Guest starring the Fantastic Four. So right off the bat, I would say this was when sales were down on Shogun Warriors because they guest starred the Fantastic. And when there's a guest star of somebody else in the book, if it's at the beginning of the run, they're expecting nobody to buy that book. If it's a year or so in, it's because the thrill is gone. And boom, I figured we had this. I have never actually read. This is the first time I've ever owned a Shogun Warriors book.
I may have one of those around. I'd have to look.
And I'm like, but this is something because I loved the Shogun Warrior toys when I was a kid. I had Mazinga Z. And now if you want a Mazinga Z in decent shape, with the box, it's going to run you close to $1,000. Yeah. I remember I took a picture of one at the con back in 2019, and he's like, "Hey, it could be yours for the low price of $800." I'm like, "Okay, do you have $800 I can borrow on a repayment schedule of 25 years?" He goes, "Dude, you're in a wheelchair. I'm not sure you're going to live 25 years." I'm like, "Oh, thanks." I go, "I'm definitely not buying it now." He goes, "Do you have $800?" I go, "That's not the point."
Damn it.
And eventually I will sit down, since we were talking about Adam Strange, eventually I will sit down and read the entirety of the Rand Thanagar Holy War.
How many issues was that in?
8 issues. It's a full run, 8 issues. I paid
$5 for it.
$5. So I'm gonna sit down and read that eventually, and I got to reread this P. Craig Russell Elric from First.
Yeah, I got books coming in. I got to sit down and read when they show up.
Well, I've got that big run from the indie creators, Matt Knowles and Steph Cannon. They're doing some books over on for Scout on the Scoot line too. But they've got like this epic fantasy adventure. So I'm in the midst of reading like 152 page trade, and followed by the 372 page trade, and also reading manga.
Manga reads really quick though.
Captain Harlock Classic Volume 1 in the hardcover. And there was a secret chapter. There's a secret chapter at the end that wasn't like really included. And I flipped right to that secret chapter. I said, "Oh my God, Star Blazers is in with Captain Harlock." No, it's just me not realizing that I was looking at the pirate ship opposed to the Argo.
Damn it.
Wah, wah. All right, so we will do that next week. And the banner that's been running at the bottom is from the Red Valkyrie YouTube channel. They're doing a donation to the American Cancer Society. So they've got this. They've got a special fundraising merch tier called "Fuck Cancer," because really, fuck cancer. And all the proceeds from anything you buy, T-shirts or hoodies, is 100% of the proceeds. Not proceeds, profits rather, because the people gotta get paid. The company actually charges real money to make shit. So their vendor gets what they get, and then there's a good chunk afterwards that 100% of the profit is all donated to the American Cancer Society. So check it out, redvalkyrie.net/merch/fuck cancer, because man, if there's one thing it's fun to spell out on your computer besides the word fuck, it's followed by cancer. So check that out. I'm told that we will in the next week or so have a video, so we can just press a promo video for it instead of just running the banner at the bottom, which will probably garner a lot more attention. So this is Will.
And this was Thomas.
And we'll catch you next time on OK Boomer the Podcast.